Most expensive items billionaire Saudi Arabian princes ever bought. Maybe you're like us and picture rich people driving around in gold cars with Bengal tigers perched on the front seats whenever you think about Saudi Arabian royalty. Even though it might seem absurd, Saudi billionaires do appear to enjoy exotic cats and expensive cars. However, not all of them enjoy showing off their wealth by making extravagant purchases. Those on this list most definitely do. You see, we tracked down some of the most bizarre purchases among them. What we discovered was insane. Every expensive purchase made in the Arab world tends to be attributed to a royal of some description. We had to cut the fat because the majority of them weren't. The Batmobile. When the Gumball 3000 occurs, we get the opportunity to witness some of the most outrageous performance vehicles ever assembled, at least for a short period of time. There are cars that amaze people every year, even just for the architecture and design. In any case, we just got this automobile. This little guy, owned and operated by Team Galog, was modeled like the Batmobile from the Arkham Knight Batman video games. It appears fantastic. The car contains a Lamborghini V10 engine inside the body. The CAD drawings used to build the carbon fiber body were then turned into molds. The fact that Team Galog from Saudi Arabia is led by two Saudi princes is arguably the most astounding aspect of the whole thing. Tony Hawk skateboard and private lesson. Who would have imagined a Saudi prince to be an ice skater? He may not be, though. However, this prince is a good-hearted person. We are glad to report on the purchase even if he may never use the board because it was made for charity. According to the rumor, Tony Hawk was holding an auction for charity that included a signed skateboard and a private lesson from the master himself at his headquarters. Talal Mal Faisal Al Saud, a prince from Saudi Arabia, accepted the challenge. He gave the board and the lesson a $60,000 donation, and the rest is history. Hawk was certain that the prince would give up after falling just once, however we don't know if he actually applied the lesson. The Boeing 747 with a throne room. The Boeing 747 owned by Prince Al Walid bin Talal is anything from typical. Similar to his other aircraft, such as the Airbus A380, his Boeing 747 has undergone extensive customization, transforming the inside from a standard airplane into a palace while traveling. The aircraft has two opulent bedrooms, a dining area with 14 seats, and other amenities. Even a huge throne for the prince to sit on and contemplate his next purchase. Although the cost of the alterations is unknown, estimates indicate that the 747's purchase price was more than $220 million. The addition of the alterations very certainly pushes the overall price above $300 million. Look at all that gold, please. A palace resort in Jeddah. It is rumored that the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud has ordered a sizable resort to be erected in Jeddah to house his family, despite the fact that the specifics of this planned resort are being kept under wraps. The prince has authorized construction to begin after clearing the 1 square kilometer site along with his son, Prince Badr bin Abdullah Al Farhan Al Saud. 7 palaces will be present on the seaside site, all of which will be positioned around a big man-made lake on their own mini-islands. The resort is depicted from above as having the shape of a flower, with different palaces located on each petal. The prince's personal palace will be located at the summit of the flower. The Savoy Hotel. The Savoy Hotel is owned by a bigger hotel chain, in this case the Fairmont Hotels and Resorts, much like the Hotel George V in France. Prince Al Walid bin Talal is actually the one behind the hotel, though. The Hotel George V in France and the Savoy Hotel in London appear to be the prince's two favorites among all of his properties. The Savoy, which was erected in the late 1800s, has hosted numerous famous and illustrious guests throughout the past century. The Savoy appears to be firmly in the prince's hands, despite several reports of a prospective sale. The estimated value, if it were to be sold, is $300 million. The Four Seasons Hotel George V. Now, despite the fact that the Hotel George V is owned by the Four Seasons, which is controlled by the Kingdom Holding Company, which is owned by Prince Al Walid bin Talal, we don't second-guess our decision to include this property. After all, Prince Al Walid bin Talal is the owner of this hotel. The Four Seasons Hotel George V is a well-known landmark in the hospitality industry and one of Paris's oldest luxury hotels. In addition, Hotel George V is the prince's prized possession. The prince, who has great pride in owning one of the most opulent hotels in the world, has declared that he will never sell the establishment. Although we don't know the exact value of the Hotel George V, given that rooms cost $1,000 per night, at a minimum, we estimate it to be worth at least $2,000, plus or minus a few hundred million. The world's tallest tower. Even though it hasn't been constructed yet, we're included the Jeddah Tower or Kingdom Tower on the list. This construction will overtake the Burj Khalifa to become the tallest building in the world and the first to ever reach a height of 1 kilometer. Despite being owned and run by Kingdom Holding Company, Prince Al Walid bin Talal, the chairman and creator of the KHC, actually owns and controls the Kingdom Tower. The Kingdom Tower is a component of a much larger development project that would ultimately cost more than $20 billion and has a preliminary cost of $1.23 billion to build. You might argue that we are cheating because this wasn't a private purchase, but the structure is simply too magnificent for us to leave out. Additionally, you now know the true owner. The skyscraper will be located in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and its completion is anticipated for 2019 or 2020. The world's most expensive plane. Prince Al Walid bin Talal also has the most costly private jet in addition to the most expensive automobile in the world. A customized Airbus A380 that costs $400 million on a good day belongs to the prince. However, this Airbus A380 isn't your typical one. One like one was created for a Saudi prince. More than $100 million worth of modifications have been made to this aircraft, including the addition of a performance hall, a prayer room, and even its own Rolls-Royce. The jet is so opulent that people refer to it as the castle in the sky, and it has everything the prince and his entourage could possibly need. This jet may have been sold in the interim, but we still included it since it's crazy. The world's most expensive car. Maybe you've seen the Mercedes with the diamonds online. You only need to see it once to remember it for the rest of your life. It has been referred to as the most costly automobile ever. There have also been allegations that it is owned by numerous individuals. In actuality, Prince Amir Al Walid bin Talal bin Abdulaziz is the owner of this vehicle. One of the wealthiest members of the royal family, the prince is thought to be worth more than $20 billion. Audiences were awestruck by this vehicle, which was on display at the Dubai Auto Show in honor of the 50th anniversary of Mercedes-Benz. According to reports, the $4.8 million automobile has more than 300,000 Swarovski crystals on it. It glows and glitters so much that photographing the car is trickier than you may expect. A princely vacation in Bodrum. Princely Saudi vacationers descended on the Turkish beach town of Bodrum last August in droves. Prince Al Walid bin Talal bin Abdulaziz Al Saud was the one who paid for the occasion. The prince brought a large entourage with him, including relatives, close friends, and bodyguards. In addition, he packed many bicycles and a large sum of money. The gang arrived on a private flight, reserved a hotel by the shore, and anchored their enormous yacht close by. The gang ate like kings and cycled around the town every day. The prince spent roughly $750,000 on his entire week-long vacation, according to reports. Several of the eateries received hefty tips as well, including one that was over $5,000 and another that was over $10,000. Can you picture being one of the lucky servers who had those princely customers? A fleet of expensive gold cars. Turki bin Abdullah, a Saudi prince from the House of Saud, is not your normal prince. We don't really know how the system functions, thus he might never succeed as king. This businessman is extremely wealthy in any case. Abdullah transported his collection of gold vehicles to London when he paid a visit there. Let's just say that Londoners paid attention. It's true. The fleet of vehicles owned by Abdullah includes some of the most luxurious and expensively made vehicles available today. Although they are technically encased in gold vinyl, to our eyes it all looks the same. The collection of vehicles includes a customized $300,000 Bentley Flying Spur, a $500,000 Lamborghini Aventador SV, a $500,000 two-door Rolls-Royce Phantom Coupe, and a $500,000 six-wheel Mercedes G63. Calculate, people. That fleet is around $2 million in value.